Mia ditched me again for Leo this time. It happened right at our wedding as I watched her silhouette disappear. A mechanical voice buzzed in my head. This is the 100th instance the female lead abandons you for the male sidekick. Do you want to stop being her main guy? Yes, you can now pick a new male lead for the female protagonist. Leo, since these childhood sweethearts can't let go, let's lock in their destiny together. Because Mia was tied to me as the main character by the system. No matter what she did, I was always going to forgive her. But now I'm free. The robotic voice kept going. Can she tie me back? I wondered aloud. No, she doesn't have the authority to switch her main guy anymore. As the conversation ended, a sense of clarity washed over me like clouds parting to let the sunshine in. Looking around at the chaos among our family and friends, I steadied myself. I grabbed the mic from the MC and spoke up. Sorry, but we can't go ahead with the wedding, my bad for the drama. The room went quiet. Earlier Mia had said we'd postpone, but I wasn't on board. From today our engagement is off and we're parting ways. The big banquet hall erupted again after Mia's sudden exit. I raised my voice. Plus all the cash gifts will be doubled and returned to everyone, thanks for coming. With that I took a bow and left the stage. My steps felt lighter. Me and Mia never officially registered our marriage, and everyone knew it. Not because I didn't want to, but because she pushed to test me for another 2 years. Now I'm thankful for her choice. Divorce ain't a walk in the park. As I stepped down the last stair, my parents approached. Son, are you for real? Have you thought this through? My mom asked, holding my hand tight. She always thought Mia and I weren't a match. Not just because of our different backgrounds, but mainly because Mia never truly cared about me. But I was the one who was head over heels. My mom didn't approve but kept her distance. Now she looked at me with hopeful eyes, wanting to see if her wish had finally come true. My dad held her back, saying calmly, she's just venting, one call from Mia and he'll be running back. You always believe her too easily. The disappointment and helplessness in his voice were clear. Most people there probably felt the same way. My mom's eyes dimmed instantly, muttering, "You're right." It felt like a stab to the heart. When I kept compromising without setting boundaries in love, wasn't I also hurting those who genuinely cared about me? This time it was real, trust me, I promise. Holding my parents' hands, I reassured them. All right, we believe you. They fell silent, then patted my back half-heartedly. Their faces showed disbelief. That's true. Mia had bailed on me 100 times for Leo and I had forgiven her 99 times. My track record made my promises seem weak. But it's cool, I'll prove myself eventually. As we were talking, Mia's parents walked over. Ethan, seriously, why make such hasty moves on stage? You upset Mia and now you'll have to smooth things over, right? How about this, help me secure that piece of land in the East District and I'll put in a good word for you. The guy standing before me with his cocky attitude and a noticeable belly was Mia's dad. There was a time he was nothing but nice to me. Now he's stepping on me all because I indulged Mia too much. Mr. Lee, Mia and I have already called it quits. I don't need you to say anything nice to her for me. And as for the land, I'm not helping you. Plus Sue Group will end all collaborations with your company and all investments will pull out. His company barely surviving thanks to Sue Group. Seemed like this ungrateful family had forgotten that. Mr. Lee's face darkened and he pointed at me, yelling, "Fine, I won't help you, let's see how you crawl back to my daughter like a dog." My mom slapped him hard on the face. "If you insult my son again, I'll shut your mouth." Normally gentle and kind, she now looked like a lioness protecting her cub. "I'm just stating the facts, how is that an insult? Isn't that what your good son has been doing all these years?" Mr. Lee didn't dare fight back physically, but his words were relentless. "No matter how rich or powerful you are, with a love-obsessed son your dignity is as good as dirt under my feet." I stepped forward and dislocated his jaw, staring into his eyes. "Get out." He stumbled back a few steps and Mia's mom caught him. Looking at me with disdain and certainty, she said, "We'll be waiting for your family to come apologize." She dragged him away. My parents looked at me in shock, then with weariness. "We're not going to apologize, I won't be either." I swore. They fell silent. After sending off a wave of guests, my assistant approached. "Boss, should the PR team handle the trending topics in online chatter?" I checked the internet. The wedding was the hottest topic, several hashtags were blowing up. Hashtag Mia the runaway bride, hashtag Mia ditches Jake for Leo at wedding, hashtag Jake's engagement with Mia. Mia's fans were cracking up. Serves him right, that's our queen, the prince of the capital is nothing but a puppy in front of her. If she wants to ditch him she will, show him respect not a chance. Looks like destiny can't beat the childhood sweetheart. The prince finally managed to get to a wedding, but with one wave the childhood friend took her away. Oh wow, the prince is talking tough now. Bet he'll be begging for mercy in 3 days, poor prince. All these years he didn't even get a title, just labeled a side character. Our queen is truly badass, good thing she didn't sign the marriage certificate so she can leave whenever she wants. Even with so many big names at the wedding she still does whatever she pleases. So what if he's a prince? To our queen he's just a toy. Really is the protagonist of a badass female lead story. The screen was full of such comments. Even though Mia was in the wrong, her fans cleverly used the feminist angle to keep their idol untouchable. Some neutral voices tried to point out, fans don't need to be so arrogant, your queen only got this far because the prince paved the way with money. With her average looks and acting skills she wouldn't have made it otherwise. But the fans immediately shot back. Shut up, our queen got to where she is today on her own, stop giving credit to that disgusting man. He only ever held her back. The fans mirrored their idol, ungrateful and forgetful. I was the one who lifted Mia from a nobody in the entertainment industry to a top actress. Since I brought her up I can also bring her down. No need to handle the online comments, leave them be. Freeze Mia out, replace all her resources, and if that's not possible terminate the contracts. I'll cover the breach of contract fees. Mia's management contract was with a film company under Sue Group and there were still 2 years left on it. I'm not going to push her too far. The contract was generous and the breach fees won't put too much pressure on her. My assistant looked at me in surprise, then cautiously asked, "Boss, I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that." "Do as I say, even if she changes her mind I'm here and I won't let you get caught in the middle," my father interjected. "Thank you, Chairman." The assistant nodded and went to carry out the orders. Just then Mia called. "Leo's been arrested, get him out and make things right." Her tone was icy, like she was ordering a subordinate around. I frowned and hung up, blocking her number. Soon an unfamiliar number called, it was still Mia. "Jake, what do you mean? Leo got into a fight because of me, he was defending my honor, so shouldn't you be the one to bail him out? My problems are your problems, aren't they?" Her tone was completely self-assured. I laughed in disbelief. "Mia, has no one told you I've already publicly announced the cancellation of our engagement?" There was a few seconds of silence before she spoke again. "Jake, it was wrong of me to leave you at the wedding, but you know Leo becomes uncontrollable when he drinks and starts fighting. I'm the only one who can calm him down, just get him out today and later on we can have an even grander wedding. Oh, and Leo beat up the youngest son of the Kim family, you need to smooth things over, I'm worried about retaliation." In the past, no matter how angry I was, a little coaxing from her would make my anger vanish, leaving only concern and guilt. But now I felt nothing, I was truly free from her control. "Not my problem," I responded bluntly, then hung up. Looking up, my parents were staring at me intently. "Jake, you really?" My mom's eyes were full of hope. My dad quickly pulled her back. "Don't get ahead of yourself, let's wait and see, it's been less than a day." Seeing how they wanted to believe me but couldn't, my heart ached. These two, once so decisive in the business world, were now so cautious, all because of me. I realized then that changing their perception wouldn't be easy. A few days later I found out Leo hadn't even shown up at the wedding. Instead he went to a bar to drown his sorrows, which made sense seeing Mia marry someone else. But then he overheard someone at the next table saying that my relationship with Mia was a case of a highborn marrying beneath them. He lost it attacking the person. A man almost 30 years old beating up a kid barely out of his teens. Knowing how fiercely protective the Kim family is, he's in for a rough time. Mia didn't call me again, but she did send a text. "Jake, I'm giving you a day to think it over, if you don't help Leo then we're done." This was her usual tactic. I ignored her. That evening news started spreading on forums about Mia's roles in films and endorsements being replaced. Her fans panicked. "What's going on? Is Jake really serious this time? He's actually starting to cut her resources. Is our queen getting blacklisted? This is kind of scary." Even though I hate to admit it, Jake is the one who elevated Mia. Of course it was mainly because our queen worked hard and seized the opportunity she was given. At exactly midnight Mia posted on Weibo, "What doesn't kill me makes me stronger." Her fans immediately rallied, rejuvenated. That's my queen, not afraid of anything, self-reliance is key. Turning into a fan right here, this queen is so cool, I love her, haha, the queen has spoken. Fans, don't worry, just follow her lead, we are her strong support. I laughed at their naivety. People who lived in a greenhouse for too long need to experience the true harshness of the entertainment industry. 3 days later, Mia showed up at my office. I thought she'd last at least a week. I overestimated her. "Jake, what the hell are you doing?" In the conference room, she coldly demanded an explanation in front of everyone. I looked her over, small frame, slightly tan skin, plain features, her eyes looked decent large, seemingly filled with emotion, but really they were empty. Nothing about her attracted me. Thinking back on how I had been manipulated by the system to idolize her for 3 years, I felt a wave of disgust. Thank goodness I was finally free. "How long are you going to make a fuss over this nonsense?" Seeing that I didn't respond, she slammed the table. "First, you're going to get Leo out of jail for me. Second, your family will apologize to my parents and you'll resume cooperation with my dad's company and increase your investment. Third, you'll give back my resources. I want the female lead role in Director Young's film and you're going to secure it for me." After finishing, she raised her chin and looked at me. "If you do all this, I might consider forgiving you." I couldn't hold back and burst out laughing. "Miss Lee, if you're sick, go to a hospital, don't come here spouting nonsense." I signaled to the security guards to escort Mia out. So if anyone lets her in without my permission again, they can go hand in their resignation to HR. Mia's face changed and she shouted angrily, her gaze filled with hatred. This wasn't new to me. Whenever I didn't immediately solve problems for her and Leo, she'd give me this look. In the past, such a gaze would pierce me deeply and I'd quietly fix the mess. Yet even then I wasn't worthy of a thank you. At first Leo would reluctantly express gratitude, but Mia would stop him. "Why thank him? It's giving him too much credit. He knew you were in trouble and didn't take the initiative to help." No sincerity. Eventually the two of them began to take my help for granted. Now I looked at her as if she were crazy. "You'll regret this." As the security guard dragged her out, she glared at me and spat through gritted teeth. I smiled. The one who'd regret this wouldn't be me. That evening when I got home, my mom cooked dinner for me and my dad opened a bottle of wine. Not bad, 3 days worthy of a little celebration. I sighed. The road is long and changing their perception won't be easy. The day Leo was released from detention, Mia went to pick him up herself. Someone recorded a video and uploaded it online. In the video, Mia was seen fussing over Leo, her eyes filled with concern. At the end, she linked arms with him, playfully flirting as they got into the car, looking every bit like a loving couple. Fans went wild in the comments. "So sweet, childhood sweethearts are the best. Her eyes are just full of love. She never looked at the prince that way. This is hilarious." Cold and dismissive with the prince, but a total love-struck woman with her childhood friend. Queen just admitted already, the one you love isn't Jake, it's Leo. Exactly. Love and a cough can't be hidden. The prince is out. Can't wait for this couple to go public. Such comments used to make me feel like something was stuck in my throat. Now I just wanted to tell the fans, congrats, your wish has come true. I didn't expect that after seeing the video during the day I'd run into them in person that same night. I was leaving a bar with a friend, strolling while waiting for the driver to pick us up. As we passed a narrow alley, we heard a woman shouting, "I'm Jake's girlfriend, let's see who dares to touch him." Get lost, it was Mia. My friend and I exchanged a glance and quickly walked to the entrance of the alley. Just in time to hear a young man respond, "Yeah right, you ditched that trash at the wedding for this guy." And young Master Sue immediately announced, "Your breakup. Move aside, this has nothing to do with you, we're only here for Leo. I've already reconciled with Jake, he'll be here any minute to pick me up. If you're so tough, don't leave." Mia lied with such confidence. Under the dim yellow light, the young thugs looked at each other in confusion. Taking advantage of the moment, Mia knelt beside the groaning Leo, tenderly touching his face, her voice trembling with tears. "Bro, it's okay now. Once Jake gets here, we'll take you to the hospital." The little warmth left in my heart grew even colder. In the 3 years we were together, Mia had never shed a single tear for me once. During a car accident, I was severely injured. Protecting her, my head was bleeding and several ribs were broken. Even then, her first reaction was, "You did that voluntarily, so don't try to use it to morally blackmail me." Later, while I lay in the operating room, my life hanging by a thread, she unscathed went to celebrate Leo's birthday. My mom was furious and called her, but she replied, "I'm not a doctor. What's the point of waiting outside? Leo is my only family. What's wrong with me celebrating his birthday?" No concern, no sympathy, just cold indifference. After that incident, when my parents found out I was still dating Mia, they took back the company shares they had given me. They believed that with my love obsessed mindset, it was only a matter of time before the Sue Group fell under the Lee family's control. There's no reconciliation. I stepped into the alley and everyone turned to look at me. "Young Master Sue," the thugs exclaimed. I nodded. Carry on, I'm just passing by to clear up a misunderstanding. Got it. One of the thugs immediately grabbed Mia by the collar, pulling her aside to stop her from interfering. The others resumed beating Leo. My friend and I calmly walked out of the alley. Jake, don't go. Mia panicked. I didn't look back. All I could hear was her crying out, stop, stop, I'll pay you. How about 10,000, 20,000? No one paid her any attention. My friend mocked me. Now that's true love, you were just a one-sided affair. I couldn't argue, so I kicked him in the shin as we continued walking. Mia suddenly ran up and grabbed my arm. Her hair was a mess, her face streaked with tears, and her makeup was ruined. Jake, please save Leo. Those guys were sent by the Kim family to cause trouble. I've never begged anyone for anything, especially not you, but I'm begging you now, please smooth things over for Leo, otherwise the Kim family won't let this go. I scoffed. She never had to beg anyone before because I was always there. She didn't beg me because all she had to do was give orders and I'd do whatever she wanted. No need to lower herself, no need to beg. Looking at her groveling for Leo's sake, I finally asked the question that had been bothering me. If you care so much about Leo, why aren't you with him? Her response was a smug smile. Jake, you're still jealous, aren't you? Don't worry, I'll definitely marry you. Leo is just a good friend. She looked absolutely terrible with her disheveled appearance, and her smile made it even worse, adding a creepy effect under the dim streetlight. I got goosebumps and had no desire to continue this conversation. I'm not helping, and stop pretending to be my girlfriend. I'll never marry you. Mia's smile froze on her face. After a moment she said, Jake, you will marry me. I chuckled, thinking she was just wishful thinking. She swayed slightly, looking like she had taken a huge blow. If she couldn't handle this, she had no idea how much harsher her words had been to me. As I left, Leo's screams echoed through the alley. I never expected that Mia, who kept saying she wanted to marry me, would send me her wedding invitation with Leo just a few days later. They came together standing hand in hand in front of me, looking very intimate. Next week Leo and I are getting married. We'd love for you to attend our wedding, Mia said, staring intently at my face. I casually accepted the bright red invitation card. Congrats, if I have time I'll be there. They remained standing there, not moving. I frowned slightly. Is there anything else? Jake, Mia's voice choked up. I'm marrying someone else. I looked at her, puzzled. I heard you and I already congratulated you. Don't you feel even a little sad? She asked, unwilling to let it go. Sad about what? You love him, he loves you, what's wrong with that? Besides, it's not like you've registered the marriage yet, you can always change your mind. Leo's face darkened. Sorry, that's just my experience, it probably doesn't apply to you, I said, smiling at him. His expression didn't improve much. What if I do register the marriage? Mia bit her lip and pressed on. My eyes narrowed and I was momentarily speechless. Mia's lips curled into a smug smile as if she had one. Jake, this time going to register the marriage. Leo looked at her in surprise. Do as you please. I turned to leave my back to them, probably looking more like a retreat. The next day news broke online that Mia and Leo had registered their marriage. Her fans exploded. Sis, what are you doing? Are you addicted to cleaning up messes? You're choosing this guy over someone as good as Jake. We were just shipping a couple for fun and you actually took it seriously. Leo may have liked you for over 20 years, but he's never been without a girlfriend. Is your brain full of water? Why choose Leo? Why Jake is 100, no 1,000 times better than him? Are you really in love or just trying to spite Jake? You know it's the wrong choice. A small number of fans were confused. How romantic is it to go from school uniforms to wedding dresses with your childhood sweetheart? What's wrong with you all? You used to say Jake wasn't worth a cent. Someone immediately explained to them trashing Jake was to help Mia build her persona. Don't you get it? Go look into Leo's dark history before you speak. This is infuriating. She had a golden opportunity with Jake but chose this worthless trash. Mia cornered me in the parking lot, this time alone. Jake, I really got married this time. She opened the marriage certificate and showed it to me. Congrats, you've gotten what you wanted. She stared at me, hoping to see some sign of regret on my face, but there was none. She panicked, muttering to herself, why is it like this? It wasn't supposed to be like this. Just live your life well from now on and don't come looking for me. Your husband wouldn't be happy about it. The two of you are a perfect match. Nomia shook her head frantically, her eyes red with anger. He's not good enough for me. He smokes, drinks, is promiscuous, and gets into trouble all the time. He's a worthless person who can't even take care of himself. She was aware of Leo's flaws, but before she loved to say in front of me, what makes Jake think he can compare to you? She'd always give me a disdainful look, not hiding her contempt. Jake, her tone softened. We the ones who truly belong together. I only helped him because I pitted him. Marrying him was just to provoke you. She clung to my arm, pleading, I'll go and divorce Leo right now. I'll never see him again and I'll never help him again. Jake, can we go back to how we were? She refused to let go of my hand. I turned my head away in disgust just in time to see Leo standing not far away, his fists clenched, veins bulging on his forehead. "Everyone knows you love him, you just haven't come to terms with your own feelings yet," I said, smiling down at Mia. "It's not true, the only person I love is you," she tearfully argued. At that moment Mia's parents suddenly rushed over. "Son-in-law, let's talk about this at home," they said with ingratiating smiles completely different from their arrogant demeanor at the wedding. I pointed behind them in disbelief. "Your son-in-law is over there, don't get the wrong person." Mr. Lee turned and glanced at Leo, then explained to me, "Don't worry, son-in-law, their marriage is just a formality." Mrs. Lee's face blossomed into a smile. "Jake, you're the son-in-law we've chosen. Come on, let's go home. Tell me what you want to eat and I'll make it for you. Isn't my cooking your favorite?" I never received this kind of treatment before. Whenever I went to the Lee house, Leo was always there. Mrs. Lee only cooked what he liked and never considered my preferences. "All right, they've registered the marriage, so it's not just a formality," I said seriously, looking directly at Leo. "Your marriage is legally protected as long as one of you refuses. No one can force you to divorce." His eyes flickered and he scanned the Lee family trio with a dark expression. "Leo will do as I say. If I want a divorce, he'll comply," Mia said, tightening her grip on my hand. I pried her fingers off one by one. "Miss Lee, whether you divorce or not has nothing to do with me. Stop bothering me." "Jake," she tried to say something, but I cut her off with a cold glare. "Let go." She was startled and then collapsed to the ground, covering her face and sobbing. "Why is this happening?" "Because you've been trampling on other people's feelings all along." Seeing that I was unmoved, Mr. and Mrs. Lee suddenly dropped to their knees in front of me. "Son-in-law, even if you don't reconcile with Mia, please help our company for old time's sake." The Lee family's company was founded by Mia's grandfather after he passed away. It was inherited by Mr. Lee. Unfortunately, he had no talent for business and within a few years he had run it into bankruptcy. It only revived thanks to my help, but now that I've cut off all support, the company is once again on the brink of collapse. I ignored them and walked around them. Behind me, Mr. and Mrs. Lee blamed their daughter, saying, "It's all your fault for being so difficult. You ran away from the wedding for that worthless guy. Now look, he doesn't want you anymore. You swore Jake would marry you, but what happened?" Mia cried out. "Did you ever treat him well? All you do is blame me when things go wrong." Then her voice turned full of disgust. "Get away from me, don't touch me, we're going to get divorced right now. I'm not going to marry you." She could also speak harshly to Leo. "Too bad, it's for her own sake, not mine." Once when Leo deliberately caused me harm, she stood by his side and even turned the blame on me. 2 years into our relationship, we were hiking once and someone pushed me hard from behind on a steep slope. Before I fell, I instinctively grabbed the person's clothes. As a result, both of us tumbled down the slope together. The person who pushed me was Leo. When I woke up, I was already in the hospital. I had scrapes on my hands and face. My ankle was swollen like a bun and I had a mild concussion. Just as I was about to ask the nurse about Leo's condition, Mia came in with red-rimmed eyes, pulling him along. She didn't care about my injuries at all and immediately questioned me. "Jake, you slipped, so why did you drag Leo down with you? How could you be so malicious? Look at how injured he is." I took a closer look. His so-called injuries were just a bandage on his forehead and a small adhesive bandage on his right hand. Just as I was about to argue, one of our friends who had gone hiking with us chimed in. "Mia, don't be so over the top. It was Leo who deliberately pushed Jake and Jake reflexively grabbed his clothes, which is why they both fell. And Jake's injuries are much worse than your good friend's. Can you at least show some concern for your own boyfriend?" Mia didn't believe it and aggressively demanded our friend provide evidence. It wasn't until the friend showed her a video captured by someone else at the time that she finally shut up. Leo, who had been silent until then, finally spoke. "Mia, let it go. It was my fault. I was just trying to play a joke on young Master Susai. I won't dare do it again. Rich people are so delicate." Mia patted his hand reassuringly. "It's not your fault if he couldn't keep his balance. You're the one who's been wronged here. Don't let people with ulterior motives manipulate you." Then she shot me a sideways glance. "You slipped and dragged an innocent person down with you, so don't let your lapdogs try to turn the tables. It's embarrassing enough." From start to finish, she didn't ask about my injuries even once. That time I made up my mind to break up with Mia, but one phone call from her and I forgot all about my anger and disappointment, continuing to be her devoted simp. Mia didn't end up getting divorced. I suspected that even without the system's interference, Leo wouldn't have agreed to it. Mr. and Mrs. Lee came to see me twice, begging me to save their daughter and their company. I didn't even get out of the car, letting them plead outside. If they had shown me even the slightest respect before, I wouldn't have taken things this far. So all of their regret now is just the price they're paying for their past arrogance. Mass fans flooded my social media begging me to take their queen back. Now they were starting to appreciate me as if they weren't the ones who had trashed me before. Fans of celebrities mocked them by sharing screenshots of their hypocrisy. I love seeing people eat their words, so satisfying. My parents finally believed that I was truly determined to end things. They were so happy that they gave all the employees a bonus and even returned my shares to me. After the company turned down several projects involving Mia, she finally came to discuss terminating her contract. I had someone bring her into my office. When we met again, she was polite and spoke much more softly. I remained strictly professional, wasting no time with small talk. The contract termination process was completed quickly. Just as she was about to leave, Mia suddenly said, "Excuse me, I need to use the restroom." She then headed straight for the restroom in my office's lounge. I frowned and held back the legal and financial staff who were about to leave, sensing that something was about to happen. After about 10 minutes with no sign of her, I asked the finance staff to knock on the door. There was no response and the door was locked from the inside. My heart sank and I kicked the door open. The financial staff behind me screamed. Inside the room, Mia was lying on the bed, blood-staining the light-colored sheets. She had slit her wrists and was already semi-conscious. It turned out she hadn't given up yet. After bandaging her wounds, I took her to the hospital and waited for her to wake up. When Mia opened her eyes in the hospital bed and saw me, tears started to fall in large drops. She reached out to grab my hand. "Jake, let's get back together. I love you, and you still love me, don't you?" I stepped back, avoiding her grasp, and looked at her pale face. "This is the end. I don't have any feelings for you anymore. Hurting yourself won't change anything." She had indeed been ruthless with herself this time, but it didn't matter. Such tactics only work if I still had lingering feelings. "Why you used to love me so much?" she asked, her face growing even paler, her voice filled with sorrow. "You said it yourself, used to love can be worn down, and when you repeatedly chose Leo over me, you should have known this day would come. No, you're supposed to forgive me. You've always forgiven me no matter what I do to you." I didn't have the energy to argue with her, so I delivered the biggest surprise. "I won't forgive you and I won't be with you because Leo is your true male lead." Her eyes widened in shock and she began to tremble. "No, you're my male lead. You've always been. I changed it for you on the day you ran away from the wedding." "No need to thank me," I said, smiling and waving goodbye, feeling a weight lift off my shoulders. She stared blankly for a moment before erupting into hysterical screams. "Why can't it be changed back? You're lying. Change it back, change it back." She was probably arguing with her system as I left the room. I passed Leo in the hallway. His eyes were bloodshot from a hangover and he reeked of alcohol, smoke and perfume. Soon after, I heard the sound of a glass shattering, followed by Mia's angry voice. "What are you doing here? Get out." Leo responded lazily, "I'm your husband, aren't I? How could I not come to see you? Looks like you're fine now. How about giving me some money to spend?" I saw Mia again at a cocktail party. She had completely abandoned her aloof persona and was openly flattering directors and producers. Circumstances can really change a person. Although I hadn't been particularly following her life after leaving the hospital, I had heard bits and pieces. After terminating her contract, she set up her own studio. Without my unwavering support, her opportunities plummeted. Leo even became her manager. This man had no experience, no ability, and no principles, everything driven by profit. Originally, Mia could still secure decent projects due to her popularity, but Leo, for the sake of money, accepted terrible scripts for her. Of course, they were a match made in heaven, as Mia had to agree in the end, right? The results were predictable: disaster after disaster, leading to mockery. After several flops, Mia could only land supporting roles in low-budget web series. Unwilling to accept this, she put together a production of her own which ended in a disastrous financial loss. She even had to sell her house to cover the debt. Her family's company had already declared bankruptcy before that. After consecutive failures, Mia began attending various parties looking for someone who could help her make a comeback. At first she tried to keep it discreet, but eventually she didn't care openly. She was often photographed getting cozy with different people or coming in and out of hotels with them. The few remaining fans she had left were anxiously counting down to the end of her marriage. Some even persistently commented on my social media urging me to take Mia back. What a joke! This loveless couple was a union they sealed themselves, and no one was going to break it up, including me. "Jake, long time no see." I had just finished greeting a group of people when Mia sat down next to me. She looked much older with faint bruises on her face. I had heard that she and Leo had ended up in the hospital multiple times from their fights. "Long time no see," I replied politely. Then there was silence. After a while, a waiter came by with a tray and Mia grabbed the only 2 glasses of wine, handing one to me. "Have a drink." I accepted it but didn't drink. "What's wrong?" "Afraid I spiked it." "Don't worry, I'm not interested in men anymore." She clinked her glass against mine and downed her drink. I showed her a video on my phone. Her face turned pale, then flushed. In the video, she was seen pouring a white powder into a wine glass. I handed my glass to my assistant. "Take this for testing." Mia tried to snatch it back, but a voice suddenly rang out in the hall. Mia. At that moment, Mia's eyes flashed with rage as she gritted her teeth. Leo. Leo emerged from the crowd, his face full of undisguised hatred. Mia didn't expect me to come back, did you? It's not so easy to get rid of me. He was leaning on a crutch, his head wrapped in bandages, his exposed skin covered in scars. Mia went berserk and lunged at him. Die. The crowd watched as the two of them started fighting, but no one stepped in to stop them. What happened at that party completely ended Mia's acting career. Her last remaining fans abandoned her and even turned against her. The drug she slipped into my wine was meant to trigger hallucinations. When I got the test results, a friend patted me on the shoulder. Good thing you were prepared. Congrats on escaping the fire pit. Yes, congrats to me. Let those two torment each other. Oh, by the way, during that fight at the party, Mia was disfigured and blinded, and Leo's injuries worsened. His leg was permanently disabled. Later, Mia's parents publicly exposed Leo's domestic abuse against their daughter online. The comments were almost unanimous. Serves her right, evil begets evil. Mia and Leo became a pair of resentful, tormented spouses, unable to live together yet unable to separate. As for me, I fully took over the family business and met a woman who was a perfect match for me in both background and mutual affection. After 2 years of dating, we held a grand wedding, a perfect wedding. Jake, congrats on finding the right person. That long-forgotten electronic voice suddenly appeared. You and your wife will love each other, grow old together, and live a happy and fulfilling life.